Hey, check it out. Welcome back. We are here to we're going to step into the mission of what we're all about here, and that's to activate the power to create in your life. And this part is super cool. I mean, it's like whatever you've ever wanted to have happen in your life, you have the power to make it happen. I know sometimes we forget about this and we think, oh, it's up to somebody else to make this happen. No, it's up to you to make it happen. So my name's Kirk Duncan. I'm going to be your coach, and I'm going to teach you what I wish I knew when I was your age. That's what I'm going to share with you is, man, if I could get in a time capsule and go back to where I was at your age right now, I would want to know these particular things that I'm going to share with you today. So super excited to be with you. Now, my whole purpose of doing this is about every 2 weeks, right? We're getting together about every 2 weeks. For those of you who are out there who really are wondering what you could do to make your life better, instead of waiting for somebody else to make your life better, you be the one in charge of making your life better, because it starts with you. And if you don't change, nothing changes. If you're miserable and upset and grumpy all the time, well, you're going to be miserable and upset and grumpy all the time. You got to be able to have the power to influence the way you are and to be able to upgrade who you are, because we're always changing. In fact, let me show you this right here. This is a kick right here. This is my son, Cameron. He put together 5 years worth of taking pictures every single day. 5 years. I don't know how he did it. Seriously, 5 years of getting himself in front of the camera every single day. That right there is just, that guy needs a trophy just for that. But watch how his face changes. Watch how his hair changes. These 5 years, he was in Utah, he was in Alaska, he was in different places, but he held to his commitment to take this picture every day for 5 years. And what's amazing is every single one of us, we're changing. Every day we change. We either improve or we fall down. We have good days, we have bad days. But the cool part is we're always changing. And this is what I wish I would have known when I was your age. I wish I would have known that I can influence how I change. My confidence level. When I went to school in high school, man, I had low confidence and I didn't know what to do about it. I didn't tell anybody. I struggled with it. I didn't know what to do. So I'm going to help you today with how to build your confidence, how to build your self-esteem, how to build a better mood so you feel good. Because when you feel good, you're going to do good. Check this out, man. Look at his hair. Don't you love his hair? Up, down, up, down, up, down. He just kept going. But you can see his cheekbones. You can see his face is changing. And you're changing every day too. Every day you have a chance to improve. You are not locked in to where you're currently at. You're not locked in. You have the chance to upgrade. You have the chance to improve. You have the chance to be more aware, more confident, smarter, more coordinated. All of these things are possible. And that's the cool thing I love about Cameron's video here, is it definitely shows and gives proof that every day is an opportunity for us to embrace, look for opportunities to change. But if we're conscious about this, we can be influential of what direction we go. So as we go to improve, we can set our sights or set our direction on that improvement. So isn't that cool? It's super cool. One thing that changed my life when I was growing up, and I know I'm an adult here looking at this picture, but when I was 35 years old, I found vision boards. And we talked about this a couple of sessions ago about using a vision board. And there's a lot that I've learned about me along the way. Here's a few things that I've learned about myself. I I have to really focus to get things done. I don't know about you, but number one, I have to really focus on my goals if they're ever going to happen. And I got to practice that focus. It does not come natural. I have to like schedule time to focus on my goals. And then number two, I have to use a vision board and declarations to like activate my mind. This is like a lifesaver, vision boards and declarations. Do you remember declarations? It's like a power statement saying positive things. My self-talk, the chitter chatter in my head. If I don't manage it, it will spiral out of control. Like it just is, it's like, what's going on in there? So I have to like get in my head and like straighten things out because there's so much that goes on in there. Number four, I love music. It moves my mind. Number five, I love to help other people solve problems and win. I love helping people accomplish their goals, improve, do better. I enjoy teaching others how to fish. Don't you love that right there? Being able to catch fish. I love catching fish. Oh, hold on. My arrow keeps disappearing. I love catching fish. I don't know. Do you like fishing? If you like fishing, go to the bottom of the screen and click the raise the hand button if you like fishing. You do? There's some of you out there. I don't know. I think fishing is awesome. You see these smiles? You see those smiles? You see his smile's kind of hidden by his cool mustache there. This is one of my friends that I took fishing. But I don't know. When a person catches a fish, they just cannot stop smiling. It is so fun. Okay. Anyway, I enjoy teaching others how to fish. Others people's energy affects me. So I've got to get good at setting boundaries. I don't know if you have to do that. And then number 8, this one's kind of strange, but my coolest thing I do is I love to think backwards. Like, how did this happen? Like when something happens, I like to reverse engineer it and figure out what happened to make something happen, to make something happen, to make something happen. I don't know. My mind just does that. It just, whatever happens, my mind backs up 12 steps and figures out, where did this come from? How did this happen? And that's cool about that is if it turned out bad, I can stop it from ever happening again. But if that thing turned out really good, I could make that happen again. So I just want to share a couple of things with you there. Super fun to share with you. I don't know what you know about yourself, but it's up to me if something's going to get better. So it's up to me. Now, here's a cool video. I like cool videos, so I'm going to share a cool video with you. Let's see here. Ready, set, go. Oh no, I clicked the button. Oh, I cut it off. I can't make it go back. Oh, it was almost over too. Oh, so sorry about that. My finger slipped on the button. But I think we get the story of what's happening there. Is so many of us are in a situation where we can make a difference in our life. And if we know how to influence our brain, then we can get our brain on our side to do better. So let me show you something here. This is a picture of my wife and I, and we're on a beach and we're on a trip. And during this trip, we decided we were going to make some changes about our life. And we were going to start doing some things different. Well, a couple years later, we went back to the same beach and we took a new picture. So this was the picture that, is a symbol of the day that we thought, you know what, we need to start working on our life and doing better. So when we went back, we took a new picture, and this is the new picture that we took. I know, right? Can you see a difference in us? It's cool when you decide to teach your brain and activate your brain to do better and to be better, how much it can actually even change your appearance. The people on the left, which is my wife and I, right? It's Kim and I, we're happy, but there's some look on our face of hopelessness, of like, I don't know if things are going to work out. But the image of us on the right side is very determined, very confident, very sure of ourselves. And it's crazy to look at this, to see the difference that can happen to you. It can happen to me. It can happen to anybody. But we need to do things to be able to improve the way our mind or our brain inside of our skull, the way that it functions. And that's why I show up here every 2 weeks, is to coach you on what to do. And so that you can make some cool inside upgrades so that you can be more on top of your game of what you do. Because really having confidence in yourself is super cool, because what it does is it helps you be able to get up and get going for the day, to be able to get you moving. We all have the power to transform our lives. We do. It never goes away. It's always there, but sometimes we just don't know how to do it. And that's the whole purpose of me showing up and coaching you and spending some time with you, is to help you at the age that you're at right now. So you start to do the steps to help you transform, because you have to do something to make the transformation happen. You can't just wait for it to show up in the mail. You can't just, expect somebody else to fix your life. Somebody else is not going to show up and fix your life. Your life is your decision. And if you want to be moody and grumpy for the rest of your life, I guess that's where you're going to stay, and you're going to be stuck there. But if you want to wake up happy and you want to wake up confident, you have to train your brain to be that way. You have to train it. You have to teach your brain. You are the teacher of your brain. You're the one who needs to teach it, show it, put it to practice, get it to do things to help it perform better. And then today I'm going to show you how to do this. So we need to take a look at this and go, okay, in your brain is where you think, right? Lots of thoughts. And also down here in your body is where you feel the sensation of emotions. So we're going to put feel down here, and we're going to put think up here. Well, when the two of them come together, the feel and the think, when those come together, that determines what you do and what you don't do. So if you don't do something, it's because you didn't feel like it, or you didn't think about it. So everything you do or don't do is influenced by how you think and what you feel. So it makes sense. And I hope this makes sense to you, but to me, it makes sense that you would want to learn how to manage your thinking so it's good, and also manage your feelings so that's good. Because if this is good and this is good, guess what you're going to do? Good things. And then good things happen, right? And so it's a very simple equation. Your thoughts come together, your feelings come together, they mix together, and they produce your behavior. And then the way in which you behave then creates this right here, which is a result. Now, I told you, that I like to think backwards. Now, let me show you why this is important to me about thinking backwards. Let me show you. Let me show you something here. Hang tight while I set this up. This is why this is so important to me, is because years ago, my results were not good. I could not create income very well. I was depressed. I was bummed out. I was struggling. I was depressed a lot, anxious a lot, always upset, super critical, negative talk in my head like crazy. I mean, just a mess. My results were a mess. And so I had to figure out, why are my results a mess? So I tried thinking, well, what affects my results? Well, of course, my results come from what I do and what I don't do. I mean, if I don't get up and go to work, I'm not going to create an income. So I'm going to be poor for the rest of my life. If I don't clean up my head, I'm going to have negative talk in my head forever. If I'm always moody, and I never figure out why I'm moody, well, then I'm going to be moody every single day. If I'm depressed and I don't figure out why I'm depressed, I'm going to be depressed all the time. So if I don't like my results, I got to pay attention to what am I doing and what am I not doing? So this is like looking at the equation backwards. So years ago, I started looking at it backwards and going, okay, well, why do I do this? And then that search brought me to the uncovering of, wait a minute, the reason I do what I do is because that's what I think. And the reason I do what I do and I don't do other things is because I don't feel like it. I'm like, wow, my feelings are that strong to make me not do things? Wow, this is going to ruin my life if I never feel like working, if I never feel like trying, if I never feel like I want to do something, I'm going to have bad results. And you will too. If you let your feelings of you don't want to work and you don't want to do tough things and you don't want to try things that are makes you a little nervous, you're going to have lower results. But if you want high results, you're going to have to jump in and go, wait a minute, why are my feelings doing this? Why are my thoughts doing this? And that's why you want to show up here every time I'm here to coach you so I can teach you how to do this. Because people at your age, they don't pay attention to this. You know what they pay attention to? They just want results. And when they don't get what they want, they complain and whine about it. They whine like, oh, my life is so hard. And it's like, get off the couch. Oh, my life is so terrible. It's worse than everybody else. And it's like, no, get up, get to work. You can't just sit there and think that results are just supposed to float around and just come over and just land in your hands. No, you got to get after it. You got to not be a whiner and be a winner, right? No more whining, only winning. But that means you're going, okay, what am I doing? What are my thoughts and my feelings doing to make me do this? And so if you don't pay attention to what you're doing and not doing, you'll never figure out how to improve your results. You're not going to figure it out. I'm a high school graduate, right? I graduated high school. I was pretty proud of myself. I graduated high school. And right now I run a multi-million-dollar company, and we've been a multi-million-dollar company for years and years and years. And how did I do this? I paid attention to what I was doing and not doing, and I paid attention to my results. And if my results were low, then I looked at what I was doing to cause this and what was I doing, what was I not doing to cause this. Now, not very many people think about results. They think about somebody else fixing them. And it's like, no, you need to study yourself. Where are you lazy? Where do you put stuff off? Because each one of us is lazy. Each one of us put things off, and we put it off day after day after day, thinking if I keep putting it off, I'll still get good results. No, you won't. You put things off, your results go down. If you take action soon, your results can go up. If you pay attention to the details, your results will even go up higher. If you take really good care of people, your results will even go higher. But you're going to see some of your friends and some people that you know, probably in your family, who are going to complain about the results, but they don't even track what they're doing and not doing. They just complain about the results. So I bring this to you because it's part of what we're talking about today. And there's all different kinds of results. There's happiness, love, health, weight, career, hobbies, projects, home, relationships, time management, income, financial status, education, skills, travel, and your lifestyle. All different kinds of results. Like this is a result. I didn't want to look that way anymore. So I got after it. What was I doing? What was I not doing? I want to change my shape of my body. I want to change because this is where we were. It's like, no, we want to be different. We want to change. We want to upgrade our life because I can't sit around waiting for somebody else to fix it, right? You know that. Those are the kind of results. But here's the thing. What's going on in our head? Of course, we become what we think about. And I know you already know that. We become what we think about. The real question is, do we know what we are thinking about? Do we? Do we know? Do you pay attention to all the jibber jabber going on inside your head? Are you watching it? What's going on inside your head? Are you paying attention to all the thoughts that are going on inside your head? You're probably going to notice that some of them are negative. For some people, there's a lot of them that are negative, that are mean, hurtful. They're very hurtful. And if you have hurtful thoughts and you let those hurtful thoughts say whatever they want to say in your head, you're going to have low results. If your thoughts in your head go down, your results go down. If the thoughts in your head about yourself improve, your results improve. They are like super connected. I'm not kidding. They're like super connected. Let me just do this. Okay, so here's the arrow. Whoops. Oh, it's not going to let me do it. I'm going to connect these. Watch this. I'm going to glue those together right there. Boom. Okay, so thoughts up, results up. Thoughts down, results down. It's just how it works. All that time to connect it for that one moment, right? Okay, so it's huge. It's huge. And so to me, I know when I changed my thinking to go, wait a minute, I'm not going to let this smack talk happen in my head anymore. I'm going to get in my head and tell those voices in my head to shut up. I know I just said that, but maybe it's not okay in your family to say shut up. I just said it. Super sorry for those families that you're not allowed to say shut up. But I had to get in my head and tell those voices to shut up. And then I had to tell myself what I wanted to think. Now that seems weird to tell yourself what to think, but that's called governing your mind. That's called taking over your brain. Like get in there and go, hey, what's going on in here? It's kind of like walking into a room and a bunch of your friends are in that room and they're all talking bad about you. And you walk in, you're like, wait a minute, what are you guys talking bad about me? And they're like, I don't know. And you're straightening out all your friends, but they're in your head. Oh man, if I could teach your mom and dad about this, but see, that's not my job. That's something for you to do if they'll listen to you. If your mom is struggling with results, it's because something's going on in her head or something's going on with her feelings. And so what you tell your mom is you say, hey, mom, you need to start telling yourself what you want to think. And she's going to go, what? Yeah, mom, you need to tell yourself what you want to think. It's like, what? How do I do that? And I'll show you how to do that. But this is super important that we're chasing this and we're doing this work. So let's look at this. Okay, so let's get to the training. So your head is bombarded by information all day long. It's in the air. It travels through the air between radio towers. All cell phone signals go through the air. And guess what else happens? They go through the walls of your house. Did you know the internet travels through the walls? The internet does not get stopped by the wall. The internet also travels through your head and through your body. And so there's all kinds of messaging that goes through the air. And walls don't stop it. and your bones and your skin does not stop it. The internet does not bounce off your skin. The internet and all the messaging in all communication going through the air does not bounce off your skin. It does not bounce off your forehead. It does not stop at your bones in your skull. It goes right through your head. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the air, and all that stuff goes through your brain, and some of it sticks. So this is what you got to do. You have to fill your head with great things every day. 15 minutes of intentional filling your head with great things. Maybe you listen to music for 15 minutes. Maybe you read a book for 15 minutes. Maybe you text your friends compliments for 15 minutes. Maybe you study a topic. Maybe you go and you jump into a hobby for 15 minutes. But for 15 minutes a day, you take over your brain and you teach your brain what to think. Then the job is, after those 15 minutes, you ponder on, do you know what it means to ponder? Ponder on what you learned. You know what it means to ponder? That means to think. I'm just going to use that word then. Think. You think on what you learned. You think about what you learned. What did you learn? What are you figuring out? What are you doing with that information? Because if you don't fill your head with great things, guess what happens? You get garbage in your head, and then you got garbage brain. And if you got garbage brain, you're not going to hardly do anything. You're going to get lazy, and then you're going to get bad results. So garbage brain, low action, low results. So you fill your head with great things. So what is your great thing? I love music, and we've talked about music a couple sessions ago, right? I also love to read. I've got books right here. I love to listen to books, and I love to read books about whatever I think is great for my brain. And then during the day, I think about it. So I keep bringing the great things to the surface so I can teach my brain what to think about. Because if I'm not telling my brain what to think about, it's going to let garbage come in, and that usually is bad. And then I'm going to feel bad, and then I'm going to do bad, and then I'm going to have bad. Think bad, feel bad, do bad, have bad. It's like, what? Wait, you don't need to do that. You can fill your head with great things. Now you got to be careful, because you don't want to put garbage in your head. So let's say you decide to jump on your phone and jump on the internet, and you're just going to watch whatever. Like, you're just going to watch whatever. You're just going to let pop up whatever you want to watch. Well, that's random. And that's not going to help you build yourself. What you want to do is you want to pick something that you want to use intentionally so that you can get stronger in your head. What could you read or watch or listen to that will help you become strong? The opposite of strong is weak. So if you're not filling your head of great things that are strong, they'll help you be strong. Guess what's happening? You are becoming weak. You know what weak people do? They're mean to each other. They're grumpy, they're ornery, and they hurt each other. Weak people hurt each other. They say mean things. People who say mean things are weak. They're weak. It's because they can't control their voice. They can't control their mind. They can't control their emotions. And they just say mean things because they're weak. They're not a wimp. They're weak because their mind is full of garbage. It's full of a bunch of yucky stuff. It's full of negative. And so we don't want to be weak. We want to be strong. So you pick things to fill your head with that are going to help you be strong. So what could be some of those topics? Well, you could, a great topic is about setting goals. And you're going to go, oh my goodness, that's so boring. Okay, what's your hobby? What do you want to do? Whatever your hobby is, whatever your interest is, don't let me decide, or I'm going to tell you about setting goals and self-improvement and personal development. But if you're like, no, Kirk, I got to find something I'm interested in. Okay, find something you're really interested in. Really interested in. I got to tell you, my son, Caden, he is a hoot. He finds something that he's interested in and he dives into it. He watches videos, he reads, he studies, and he thinks about it all the time. Whatever he's interested in. And you know what's crazy about him is he gets good at it. He gets good at it. Like, I got to tell you this. I might have told you this before, but I'm going to tell you again. I remember I walked into his bedroom one time and he's playing this game on his computer. And I was like, what are you playing? And he goes, oh, I'm playing a game that's teaching me how to fly and race a drone. I was like, oh, okay, let me watch that for a second. And it was a training course. So it wasn't really a game. It was like a simulator so he could learn how to fly a drone on his computer before he bought one. I said, well, why don't you just go buy one? He's like, Dad, if I buy one, I'm going to wreck it. And then it's going to cost me money to fix it. He goes, I'd rather wreck on the computer instead of wreck in the backyard. Because when I wreck on the computer, I just hit start over. And I was like, okay, that's smart. But he put a lot of time into it. He put a lot of time. I think he said he watched over 70 different training videos. Like, he totally got into it. It's like 70 training videos, hundreds of hours of training. And then he decided to buy a drone. And he bought a drone that he would build. And he watched the videos how to build the drone. Now, I don't know about you, but what he's doing here is he's getting very clear, very strong about his creativity and his skill and his mechanical skills. Like, it's helping him become strong. So the drone shows up and I'm like, this is in pieces. And he goes, yeah, I've already studied the videos. I have an idea how to build this. And he whooped that thing out so fast. And he's like, okay, I'm going to go outside and fly it. And I went outside to go watch him fly this. And I was super nervous that he was going to crash. He goes out, he puts the drone on the ground, and within seconds, he fired that thing up. It lifted up about 3 feet off the ground, and then bam, he took off and he went zooming around the house like as fast as it would go. And I was freaking out. I'm standing on the driveway, freaking out about how fast he's flying around the house. And it's like, what? How are you doing this? And he's like, Dad, I've done a lot of training. I filled my head with good information. I've been studying this. And I stood there watching him just going, wow, he's really a good example right now to me. But that's just one thing in all the different things that he's done to be able to strengthen his mind about what he likes to do. So he's not wasting his life. Right now, he's into, I don't know how to explain it. He built a car that he can go to a racetrack and drift around the corners, right? And go through not an obstacle course, but a course and drift around the corners. And he built the car. We got a car. He built it to go around the racetrack. He changed parts about it. He changed the tires. He changed the transmission. He changed all the steering, and he's studying it out. And we just went and watched him this last Saturday night, and he's getting really good. Like, he's developing a skill. Now, I know maybe you're sitting here watching me and you're saying, I don't want to do that. And maybe you're going to tell me you don't want to do anything. Okay, well, that's good to notice that your brain is lazy. Now, I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that to wake you up. Your brain is not going to activate by itself. You need to know this. I wish everybody knew this. Your brain will not all of a sudden just fire up and start working for you. Your brain sits there waiting for you to tell it what to do. It doesn't come with pre-programmed stuff. It's not a computer. It's something that needs to be taught what to do. So if there's anything you've ever wished you could do, anything you ever, even in the smallest little bit, you wish you could be better at, or you wish you could do, go get a book, go find a video, go find a website, and start reading and studying, watching, reading and studying, and dive into it. Activate your mind. It is not going to activate by itself. And I see this same problem with adults, that they just think that something's going to come along and wake their brain up. They just do. They think that. So you're not the only generation who has an issue with how the brain works. You have to activate it. You have to give it something to learn and to practice and to get good at. Because if you don't, you're going to become brain numb. And you're going to, if you get brain numb, that means you don't do anything. And I got to tell you, it's hard to get started, because you think with one time of reading about something you wish you could be good at to help you become a stronger person, you think in one time it's supposed to be magic and you're supposed to be excited. No, it takes more than one time. But you want to be smart and know that you have to activate your mind, not your mom, not your dad, not your brother, not your sister, not your teacher, not even me. If you're sitting around waiting for somebody else to entertain you, oh boy, you are going to have problems. You're going to have problems. You're going to have problems. And that's why I'm doing this free coaching for you, is so you don't run into problems that you could avoid if you would activate your mind on something that you're interested in. But you have to feed your mind. You have to feed it every day. Seriously, you got to feed it every day. You got to give it a little bit more every day. That means fill your head with great things so you can become stronger. 15 minutes each day. Think on what you learned. Whatever you want to do. My son did drones, and then he is doing drifting. And then for a while, he had a motorcycle. And before that, he was into airsoft. And before that, it was into yo-yos and these other things that he was doing. But he's moving from one project to the next, but he's active. And I got to say, when he was younger, I was kind of nervous. I was like, uh-oh, what are we going to do with him? But he totally is hooked into learning something new. And he dives into it. It's so cool. It's so cool. It's so good. But you can't sit around and wait for your brain to make it happen. You got to activate your mind by giving it something to read, watch, listen to. And then that generates the interest. And then that generates the passion. And then that generates the action. So it's gonna build on top of each other. I hope this makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, okay. If it does make sense, click the raise the hand button there at the bottom. I want to see if we can have at least one person. Oh, okay. More than one person raise their hand. Okay, that's good. I like that. Okay. So when you do this, it's very common for adults to say, well, you just need to work hard. Yeah, but this is what you need to do. You need to give your brain some education. Hard work doesn't solve everything. You need to add education, which means read, watch, or listen to the topic that you're interested in, whatever it is. But fill your head full of education 15 minutes a day intentionally to build yourself to become stronger. Now, here's the other piece. The other piece is mindset. See that big, beautiful blue brain? Mindset is the belief that you're going to make this work. Like this is going to come together. Like this is going to be amazing. Let me show you mindset. Here's a picture of your brain. Not yours, but somebody else. It's actually an artist rendition, right? Okay, so each one of these, and I probably showed you this like how many times now? 12 times? I don't know, 4 times. But this is a neuro pathway, and all these squiggly lines are like super looked underneath under the microscope. And so that we can see what's the activity going on inside your brain. These little lights are thoughts zooming back and forth across this network or highway between all the neural pathways in your head. So this is a thought traveling across one of these neural pathways. And so this comprises your intelligence, your thoughts. Each one of these can be, the direction of each one of these can be changed. This right here was a game changer for Kirk Duncan. Let's say that this little pulse of light, you see that pulse of light? Let's say this pulse of light is traveling this way. And then when it gets to this part where it can change directions, it then travels up this direction and it produces this result. And this is called a habit. You think this thought, you do this thing, you end up here. You think this thought, you do this thing, and then you end up here. This is a thought, and this is what you get, and this is where you're at. And so this feels like you are in a pattern. But if it's a pattern you don't like, you then end up calling it a rut. Like it's a rut. So if you don't like it, it's called a rut. If you do like it, you call it a pattern, but it's still the same thing. It's a neural pathway, and you're in a particular way of thinking. But let's say you have a crazy idea about something else. And I'm going to put this one right here. You see this one? And it's like, whoa, wait a second. This is a right turn. This was a left turn at this intersection. So for you to go this way is going to feel weird. It's going to feel weird. I'm serious. It feels weird. The first time you travel down this particular new direction, instead of turning left, you're going to turn right. It feels so weird. It feels like, oh, I can't do this. In fact, this is actually choppy. Let me just back this up and make all these little individual choppy, like kind of broken up. It's not quite fluid. It just feels really weird going this way. And guess what? Most people quit because it feels weird going a new way of thinking. Oh, it's weird. And so people quit. And why do they quit? Is because it feels weird. It feels awkward. It feels like they're uncoordinated. They feel like, oh, I can't do this. I've never done this before. But people misinterpret this. This is where people quit. And it's like, no. You've been going this way so many times, you need to turn. And when you turn, it's going to feel weird. But when it feels weird, don't quit. You have a cool idea. You got a brand new idea. Over here, it's a result, but it's small. But over here, you got this cool idea. Go for it. I know, Kirk, but it just feels weird. That's what people have told me for 16 years. I've been coaching people for 16 years. And you know what they tell me when they have a big idea? I say, go for it. And they go, yeah, but it feels weird. I'm like, oh, it's okay. And they said, but I feel awkward. I go, I know, because you've never done this before. This new pathway is not familiar. But even adults, they get this weird feeling when they're trying something new, and they think that the weird feeling is telling them, you shouldn't do this. And all it is a sensation of going this direction. Because this is awesome. What you want to study, what you want to do, what this goal is, what this skill you want to learn how to do. It's like my son learning how to drift his car. I remember the first time I was at the track with him and I said, "Hey, Caden, how do you feel going out on the track to drift the car?" And he says, "Oh, Dad, I'm scared." He was like scared, so scared. He was scared. He was nervous. He's like, "I don't know if I can do this, Dad." He's like, I just don't know. And he's telling me all these things that he's feeling. And I said, "So what are you going to do?" And he goes, "Well, I'm still going to go do it." And I was like, "You're still going to go out there even after feeling scared?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Why?" And he goes, "Well, because I got to do it. I got to do this." And I said, "Okay. So even though you feel scared, you're going to do it." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to do it." And I was like, "Caden, this is like the coolest thing ever. Hold on. I got to show you what Caden looks like." Here's Caden. There's Caden right there at the steering wheel. This is Caden in his car and his brother. They're about ready to head out on the track to go race the car around. And the first time he was telling me, he goes, "Dad, I'm super scared." I'm like, "What do you think is going to happen?" He goes, "I'm going to wreck. I'm going to slide off the track. The car's going to blow up." He goes, he says, "I've practiced, but this is my first time doing this." And he goes, I don't know how it's going to turn out." And he was expressing this sensation, this feeling. He was expressing, and he went out on the track, and all of his education and training and everything all came together for this moment to be on the track. And he went around the track and he came back off the track. I wish I had a different picture I could show you, but he was smiling that big. He was smiling that big. He's like, "Dad, this is so fun. Dad, you want to go for a ride?" Then I went and jumped in the car and went out there with him. And then I knew why he was so scared, because it was like, what? It's so crazy. Let me just look through my pictures really fast and see if I can find another picture here to show you. But it was an absolute hoot to watch and to be there and to be part of what he's doing. And oh, I got a video. You got to see this. I got to just upload this right now. Let me see if I can upload this. Oh, here it comes. Okay, hold on. I got to adjust this. Let's see if I can get this to play. This is totally raw and doing this webinar like this. I don't know if that's going to let me play it. Okay, hold on just a second. Wait for it. Well, I'm going to try. Let's see if I can make this loud. See if I don't know. I'm going to see if this works or not. So this is him right here, coming right here. It's totally raining, lightning in the background, and these cars are just screaming around the edge of the track. Oh, I should have showed you that one. Wait, I gotta just show you. Check this out, isn't this crazy? It is a hoot. They literally have a blast out there doing this. So this is my son's new strength building hobby, and the kid's crazy, but I love the fact that he has pushed through the discomfort of traveling down a new neural pathway. To change your life, you're going to have to learn how to change the direction of thought. Because if you can't change the direction of thought in your head, you're going to end up doing the same thing you've always done, and you won't be able to improve hardly anything. But this right here, the secret of how to do this, and really the secret is is when you have something new that you're working on, that you want to develop a skill or a new topic or a new hobby or something that's going to really help you. When you start to do it, it's going to feel very awkward. It's going to feel very choppy, but you need to tell yourself, okay, this is part of the process. This is normal. This is normal. And I'm going to keep practicing until this becomes nice and fluid to get there. And this over here, where you used to be, starts to shrivel up. It gets smaller and smaller. And so this becomes less of what you're doing. And now you have changed the direction of thought. And do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? If you change the direction of thought, that thought changes your behavior, which then directly changes your result. So if your thoughts upgrade, upgrade. If your thoughts upgrade, your behavior or your action is going to upgrade, which then means your results that you can produce will upgrade, but it starts here. And this is where every human being I've met struggles the most, is with this new direction of thought. They misinterpret what this is, what this feeling is. And it's choppy. It doesn't feel like it's smooth. It doesn't feel like it's okay. And it's not normal. And they misinterpret this. And so then they quit, and then they give up, and then they go back to what they were doing. And which is fine. It was fine because they had some kind of result, but now they're back in their rut. So how do you do this? Well, here's what you do. You, every day, fill your head with great things, what you want to focus on, what you want to get better at, what you want to be a guru at, whatever your interest is, 15 minutes a day, uninterrupted 15 minutes a day. Then throughout the day, think about the things that you read. Think about the things that you studied, the things that you watched, the things that you heard about this particular topic or this particular skill. It's the pondering. It's the pondering that changes the direction of thought. Because you keep thinking about it, it strengthens each one of these. Because now you're reviewing the information, you're thinking of the information, you're imagining the information, and it strengthens this new direction, and it changes it from going this direction to turning to go to this direction. And now you have created a new result in your life. So powerful. I hope this made sense. If it made sense, click the raise the hand button there at the bottom. And that's a way of telling me that it was something good to learn. Cool. All right, cool. All right, we got to go here in just a second. If you are new here and you have not got this free, it's a gift. If you've not got these 2 audios, go to 3ke.2/family. Type that in your internet browser piece, 3ke.2/family. It'll take you to a page, but make sure you ask your parent or guardian to go to this link and put in their name and their email to get these audiobooks. So make sure you ask a parent to do that. And it will take you to this page where it's going to ask you for your email address. And then it's going to then give you the downloads for those audios. Super cool, huh? And get those. The reason why I think it's super smart to have these audios, this one right here talks about how to manage what's going on in your head. And this one right here is talking about your potential, the hero generation, because that's who you are. You're part of the hero generation. So this helps you manage your mind. This helps you give a vision of where you're going. And so that you can take those steps upward. Okay. So super cool. Mark your calendar for Tuesday, September 7th at 5 p.m. Again, it'll be on Tuesday, September 7th at 5 p.m. will be the next time I will show up here, and you can invite other people to be here. There's no cost. It's free. So love to see you next time, which is about 2 weeks, right? Yeah, it's about 2 weeks. And in the meantime, activate your brain. Don't just let it just sit there. If you let it sit there, it's going to turn to mush. It's not going to turn out well for you. I wish at your age, I knew this. I wish when I was your age, I activated my mind more. But I thought other things were more important. But I'm watching my kiddos get all crazy about what they like. And I'm glad that I'm able to help them be different than where I was. They're staying active and they're really going after what they want. And now that I know about this, I talk a lot about it with my own kids about, hey, what are you working on now? What are you interested in? And then I encourage them to dive in and develop that skill or gain that education. It's super cool. So yeah, activate your mind because that's where it's really at. Because if not, it just turns into a mess. So we don't want that to happen for you. So go activate your mind. 15 minutes is not that much time each day. Find something, sit down, focus on it, and watch what happens. You have the power to transform your life, but you got to do something about it. You have to do something. Don't wait for somebody else to fix you. Don't wait for somebody else to motivate you. Don't wait for mom or dad or grandpa and grandma or your brother and sister to try to get you up and get going. If you're bored, it's because you are not teaching your brain. That's your job. It's nobody else's job to entertain you. Get up and go do something you're interested in that's legal. Make sure it's legal and it's moral and it's ethical. Make sure it's legal, moral, and ethical, but get yourself to go. It's going to take you a few times to gain that control of yourself, but you'll be so much wiser and so much smarter. And here's the thing, so much happier. Happiness comes from an actively engaged mind. That's where it comes from. Super cool. All right. You guys are awesome. Look forward to talking to you on September 7th on Tuesday. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for showing up. Okay. Go activate your brain. Love you guys.